let's start the revision of chapter number 3, okay? I hope that all of you can hear me properly, correct?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so see here. Well, as you know, in the first chapter, we talk about that how the living organisms, correct? They are divided and classified, correct? So this is division
In
and
chapter 1,
classification.
yes.
Yes, chapter 1. And in the second chapter, we talk about the basic unit on which all the organism which we have divided and classified, from which, what is the beginning, okay? And we talk about cells, correct? And their structures.
Yes.
Now, the third
Yeah.
thing which we have to see is that how these cells work, how the living organisms, what's the system inside, okay? And for that, you should understand the transportation happening inside the cells, okay? So the whole chapter, as you have noticed, that it depends on transport within the cell or out of the cell, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start. So chapter number 3, here will be a short revision for all of you. Okay, so let me write. Okay, so chapter number 3, it's the Mary John's book, which we are using, and it's a course, IGCSE course, okay? And secondly, the name of the chapter, what's the name, Fatima? Okay, let me.
Movement in and out of cell.
Okay, yes, movement in and out of the cell. Okay, so I've just write shortcut, movement in and out of cell, okay? So here's the case.
Yes.
Now, the first thing that you should know about movement is this, that movement, okay, in biology, in chemistry, in whichever subject you are learning, movement are of two types, okay? How many?
Okay.
Or you
Two
could say
types.
that transportation, okay, the transport happening inside the cell or outside the cell, it is of two types, okay? The first one is called as passive transport. Okay, it is passive transport. So passive transport. Okay, and the other one is called as active transport. Active transport. Okay.
Yes.
Now, passive and active, what's the difference? Okay, now to make things easier, as you know, we're gonna go from easy to the hard version or easy to the fancier version. Okay, now when we say that passive transport is what? Word is movement of molecules from area where they are more, movement of molecules from area where they are high, where they are more, okay, to the area where the things are, or where that molecule is less, correct? To the area
Yes.
where they are less, correct? So it's simply that movement of molecules. So area which is more, we have a very fancy name for it, and we call it high concentration area, high concentration area, correct?
Yes.
An area where the molecules are less, which we are talking about, we call it lower concentration, correct? Or low concentration, correct? Excellent. Yes, we have learned these things in detail, correct? So passive transport. So can I just summarize passive transport like this? If you agree, please show me thumbs up, okay? The passive transport is movement of molecules. It's movement of molecules, okay, from area of higher concentration, to area of lower concentration. Do you agree with me?
Yep.
Excellent. So this is called as passive transport. Make sense to all of you?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a thing which we are talking about in passive transport. Please make sure that you know the initials, you know an overview of it, okay?
Yes.
Thumbs up from everyone? Okay. Now in active transport, what's happened? In active transport, totally opposite things happen. What? In active transport, what happened? That molecules move from
low
area,
to high.
Excellent job. From area where they are less, okay, where they are less, to the area where they are
more.
Excellent. And again, if I have to just summarize this, you tell me the definition, what it's gonna be. So active transport is a transport in which molecules move. It's a movement of molecules
from low concentration to high concentration.
Excellent. Movement of molecules from lower concentration to higher concentration. Correct? Makes sense? So these are the simple definition. This is an overview. But the thing is, the only thing which we have to add in active transport, there is one thing which we're going to add, and I will tell you later. Is this thing clear?
Yep.
Okay. So what's the difference between active and passive transport? Quickly tell me.
For passive, it is from high concentration to low. For active, it is low to high.
Low to high. Excellent. Now, in active transport, the only thing which you have to add is that in order to move molecules from lower concentration, okay, from lower concentration to higher concentration, we require energy. Energy is required here, okay?
Okay.
Energy is required. Well, in passive
What
transport,
kind of energy?
excellent. Yes, I'm coming to that. So in passive transport, we don't require any type of energy, but in active transport, in passive, we don't. No energy is required. Okay, no energy. In active transport, we require energy. Okay, and the name of that energy doesn't mean that you will take out any energy and give it in active transport. No, the name of that energy, you know already, it is ATP. Remember?
ATP.
Yes, ATP. In which process ATPs are made? In which process?
Respiration.
Excellent. Respiration. Okay, well, there's a complete chapter on respiration. So if students cannot answer right now, it's fine. Okay, but we just remember that in active transport, what is active and passive? Passive from area of high to low. Active, low to high. In order to go from low to high, we need energy. And the name of that energy is ATP. Make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. Should I move on?
Yep.
Okay, so here I am. Okay, now here is the case. So passive transport, first of all, I'm going to talk about passive transport here. Okay, so I want high attentions here from all of my students. Okay, now passive transport again is of two types. How many types?
Two types.
Excellent. The first one you all know, and I'm sure you have learned in your chemistry classes, it is diffusion, correct?
Yeah.
And the other is osmosis.
Yes.
Now, for the first thing which should be clear on both, like it should be clear in your heads, is this, that both diffusion and osmosis, there are type of passive transport. So can I say that in both diffusion and in osmosis, molecules will move from higher concentration to lower?
Yes.
Excellent job. And that's it. So in both of these, okay, molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, but what's the difference? You will ask, if both of them are same, then what's different, isn't it?
Yep.
The difference lies here in diffusion. Okay, well, I'm going to go for osmosis. On osmosis, okay, it only talk about water molecules. Okay, if water molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration, just water molecules, then we call that type of transport as osmosis. Make sense?
Yes. And
Okay,
diffusion is for air.
Excellent. Air or other things you could say. Yes, mostly air. Okay, so if I have to write the definition of osmosis here, okay, so can I write like this, that osmosis is movement, okay, movement of water molecules, okay, from higher concentration to lower concentration. Can I write that?
Yes.
Excellent. Now let me write another fancier definition. Can I say that osmosis is okay, so here I am writing osmosis. Okay, let me write osmosis so things don't mess up. So can I say like this? Osmosis is should I write no, is a passive transport of water molecules. Can I write like that?
Yes.
Excellent. So can you see how many fancy definitions we have for osmosis? Okay, my lovely students, don't get confused if you see any of them. Just keep in mind that this osmosis, this fancy word, is simply a part of passive transport. Okay. Okay, should I give you one more scary definition of osmosis?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Okay, now we have a fancy name for something. Should I tell you?
Yes.
Okay, here it is. If I have, okay, so let's suppose if I have two containers like this, okay? In one container, okay, I have more water molecules. As you could see, the blue color is showing more water molecules, okay? And
yes.
less solute molecules. Okay. And in other one, I have more solute molecules. Okay. Okay. This magenta color shows that it's solute, and the blue one shows it's water molecule. Okay. So basically, if I ask you that the water should move where according to osmosis? So this is 1 and this is 2. From where to where?
From high to low, right?
From high to low. So from 1 to 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when I say this container 1, okay, when there is more water, okay, in a solution, even though we call it is a high concentration water, but we have a fancy name. We call it that this solution is dilute. What we call it?
Dilute
solution. Okay. When we have less water, okay, somewhere we call it concentrated. What we call it?
Concentrated
solution. Make sense?
Yep.
Now please tell me, water, according to osmosis, water should move from dilute solution to concentrated. Am I correct?
Yes.
According to osmosis. Excellent job. So now another definition. Can I write a definition like this, that osmosis, okay, osmosis is a movement of water molecules, okay, water molecules from a dilute solution to a concentrated?
Yes.
Excellent. To concentrated solution. Okay. So can you see 3 definitions for same concept? Are you surprised?
Kinda.
Yes, teacher, we have already learned, so we are not surprised. Okay. So the thing I want to show you that there could be one concept, but it could be elaborated in different versions. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions so far? So this was osmosis concept. Please ask me right now. Everything is clear?
No. Yes.
So I told you that diffusion and osmosis, both of them are higher concentration to lower concentration. Osmosis is when we specifically talk about just water. Okay.
Water.
Yes. Now, what is diffusion? Diffusion, again, it could be movement of molecules, any other than water. If any molecule moves from higher concentration to lower concentration, we will call it that it is diffusion. Make sense?
Yes.
Makes sense? Excellent. And we can see diffusions, many examples. Please tell me the examples. For example, if you just
perfume.
Excellent. Spray perfume, correct? And the cooking, have you noticed?
Yes.
Whenever your mom cooks in a kitchen, exactly, diffusion happened. Good job. Okay, so this type. Now the thing is, do you believe that both of them, so these are types of what? Active or passive?
Passive.
Passive. So do you believe that this passive transport, diffusion and osmosis, happens in our body? Do you believe so? Yes, no? No comments?
Yes.
Okay, see here. Let's see. Okay, yes, the obvious answer is yes. Passive transport actually happens in our body. How? Have you seen that when the way, okay, not when. Okay, the first example is the way blood flows in our body. Actually, do you believe that there is more blood in our heart? Correct? More oxygenated. It should have more fresh blood, more fresh blood here. So it will move from higher concentration to lower concentration, such as our arms. Our arms doesn't have fresh blood. Okay, let's suppose. And such as our head, correct?
Yes.
These are the processes. Don't worry, you're going to learn in detail. I'm just telling you some examples where diffusion occur, okay? In the same way, osmosis also occur. It also happen in cells, okay? And we will learn where. And it also happens, diffusion also happen when you get rid, okay? Diffusion and osmosis also happen when you get rid of waste products from your body. Waste products, okay? Waste products, okay, such as urine. Okay, so these are the processes, okay, of diffusion, osmosis, passive transport. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so how many types of transportations?
2, passive transport and active.
And passive transport have how many types?
2, diffusion and osmosis.
Excellent. And here we are with our next topic, active transport. And you might be thinking that, oh my God, we have learned 2 types of passive transport. There must be some types of active transport, isn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. And the good news is this, that active transport do not have any type. So a happy face from you
Great.
guys. Okay, great thing. Okay. Now it's simply you have to understand the process, the way it happens. Okay. So
Okay.
remember that active transport is movement of molecules from area of lower concentration
Low
to
to
area
higher.
of
High.
high concentration. Excellent job. And it requires energy. Now let me tell you how the process happens. Okay. Now,
Okay.
as you know that our cell have a cell membrane, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is, let's suppose this is cell membrane, and I am making a bigger picture of cell membrane, this part here. Okay. Now what happened is this, that at this point, okay, as you know that there are some proteins attached, correct? As I told you that cell membrane is made up of lipid bilayer, isn't it? It's a lipid layer and it has some proteins, correct?
Protein.
Excellent job.
Yes.
So here are some proteins, and this is not a good picture of protein. Let me make it. Okay, so this is, let's suppose this is the picture of protein. Okay, so there are two handles like this. Please mind my drawings. Okay, here. Okay. Now what happened?
Yes.
Please see here. Let's suppose that these green particles, okay, they are less outside and more inside. Okay.
What is this? The green particles.
I'm just telling you the way active transport. It could be anything the cell needs. Okay. Maybe
Yes.
a cell need any type of protein. Okay. Or maybe
Okay.
it could be any type of food material. Okay. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
Okay? So these are green particles which are more inside and less outside of cell. Okay. Now, but the thing is that they're so important that cell need them more. So cell also required this one. Okay, these two inside, correct? So which process the cell gonna use, active or passive?
From low to high, so active.
Active, good job. Now what will happen that the thing is that lipid bilayer, okay, the lipid layer, which is like this, as you know, remember?
Yes, hydrophobic and
excellent job, hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Okay, now this lipid bilayer, this is like a strict police system. Okay, the lipid bilayer will not allow okay these things, these two tiny green things to come in. Okay, so what then they're gonna do, they will go and knock at the door of these proteins, the special proteins. Can you see this one, the blue one I draw here with large things? Okay, and these proteins will say, okay, we're gonna take you inside. Okay, they become happy and they will come and sit here. Okay, now when they come and sit here, okay, one of them, okay, let's go one by one. Okay, when they come and sit here, they become happy, the green thing that we are happy, we're gonna go inside. But these proteins, they are very smart. They're gonna say, bro, we will not open the door unless you give us something. Okay, and for them that something will be a magical ATP energy, which will come here like that, ATP. Okay, once ATP comes and it gives the energy, do you know what will happen? That these doors gonna open like this, the way I am making them. I hope that I could draw well. I'm trying my best. Okay, so they're gonna open. Can you see? They open now. Once they open, what will happen? That this green thing will come inside the cell. Okay, so now this thing gonna come here and one will be erased from there. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, once it come here, now again, what will happen? It will get closed, isn't it?
Yes.
So this thing, this whole thing is called as active transport. What are they called?
Active transport.
Make sense? Any questions? Please ask me any question. Please.
No.
Oh, what's that? No. You have to ask one
Come on,
question.
teacher, it is so good.
Oh, really? Okay. Please ask me one question. You have to ask.
Oh, yes. How respiration is related here?
How respiration is related here? Can you see this ATP?
Yes.
From where ATP comes?
From respiration.
That's how respiration is involved, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now the thing is, as Fatima was asking us, that what are these green molecules, correct? Now these green molecules could be a glucose molecule. Okay, these green molecules could be the molecule of proteins. These molecules could be anything which cell needs. Okay.
Yes.
But the only difference between active and passive transport is this part of ATP and the proteins involved, okay? Because diffusion or passive transport mostly happen through lipid bilayer, okay? But in active transport, proteins are involved, the special proteins which are attached on cell membrane. If any of the students have missed those lecture, please go and watch unit number 2 of on cell membrane, okay?
Yep.
Okay, guys, any questions?
No.
Okay, just let me have a break of 1 minute and we will do some questions, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Forward, there's a very good picture which I found in your book. Can you see over here, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so this yellow color, okay, is your cell membrane, and this is the inside one, and this is the outside one, and this is a protein, as you could see, the brown one. And this glucose molecule, want to go inside, even though there is a lot of glucose molecule present inside the cell, okay?
Okay.
And can you see the way the door opens? Okay, so it's gonna go in, but we need an ATP, okay?
So the molecule
Yes.
glucose will give the ATP?
Yes, we need an ATP, we need that energy, and then the shape gonna change and it could come in, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the cases. Well, there's a lot of information written here. This topic will be more clear and more elaborated when we will do chapter number 11 of respiration, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so any questions from here?
No.
No. Okay, here you go. Now, remember I said that movement of transport, okay, two types, passive and active, correct? And
yes.
Transport have diffusion and osmosis. We were talking about osmosis,
yes.
correct? Now, the thing is that osmosis is the movement of water molecules, correct? Now, as you know that scientists, they are very curious, so they perform some experiments. They thought that, as you know, that an animal and plant cell, they are a little bit different. Do you agree?
Yes.
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 Correct? Yes. So animal cell, they have cell membrane, and plant cell, they have cell wall, correct?
Yes.
And then plant cell have a very large wall vacuole. Animal cell have
small vacuole.
Small vacuoles, okay? Now see, the experiment which they did, the first experiment, the first part of the experiment, what did they do? Now, let's suppose they took an animal cell here. Okay. So this is your animal cell. Can you see? So let me write it.
Yep.
Animal cell. Okay. And then what did they do? They took a first beaker here. Beaker number 1. Okay. And this beaker, let's suppose animal cell have this much water. Okay. So there are just 2 lines of water. We could say just 10% of water. Okay. While this beaker, okay, it have 30% of water, more than animal cell. Can you see?
Yes.
So first of all, tell me which is dilute and which is concentrated over here in this scenario.
Dilute is 30%.
30%. So beaker is dilute, correct?
Yes.
And animal cell, as compared to animal cell is concentrated, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what did he do next? That he put the animal cell inside this. What will happen to animal cell? Water will move where?
Inside the animal cell.
Inside the animal cell. So do you agree that this water, okay, so this water, it's going to move from higher to lower concentration, okay? So what will happen that the water will go inside. So once water will go inside, do you think that the animal cell will expand a little bit?
Yes.
And so it will expand a little bit like this?
Yes.
Okay, this situation, okay, this situation of animal cell, okay, we have a special name for it, and the name is what? Any idea from your class? Quickly.
I forgot.
And the name of this scenario is, we call that animal cell is in hypotonic situation. Hypotonic. Hypo means big, fat, okay?
Okay.
Hypotonic. Okay, so in hypotonic solutions, okay, in hypotonic situations, can I say that the way animal cell behaves, that the water will move inside from dilute to animal cell, and animal cell will expand. Clear?
Yes.
The scenario is clear?
Yep.
Okay, so now we go to second scenario. Okay, here. Second one. Okay. In second situation, again, what did we do? We took an animal cell again. Okay. Here. Okay. And we took a beaker again. Okay. And again, what happened that we took 10%, how much?
10%
of water. Okay. But this time, so let me mention it that this is an animal cell. Okay. But in the beaker, instead of taking 30%, we just took 5% of water.
Okay.
And what did we do? We put animal cell inside it. What will happen to animal cell? Now, first of all, before I go, which is dilute and which is concentrated here?
Dilute is the animal cell.
Dilute this time is animal cell, and concentrated is what?
Beaker.
Excellent. Concentrated is beaker. Okay. Now, water will move from where to where?
From high to low.
So from beaker to animal cell, or animal cell to beaker?
From animal cell to beaker.
Excellent. From animal cell to beaker, isn't it?
Yes.
So if water will come outside of animal cell, do you think that animal cell, the size of animal cell will become a little bit small? It will shrink a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this situation where animal cell gets shrink, okay, this situation is called as hypertonic situation. What is it called?
Hypertonic.
Hypertonic. Make sense? Hypertonic situation. Okay. So in hypertonic situations, what happened? That animal cell, it will shrink. Okay. Okay. In hypotonic, what will happen?
It will
in hypo. Oh.
It will take in the water, right? In the animal cell.
Wait. In hypotonic, Fatima, what will happen?
The water will go inside the cell and the cell will expand.
Excellent. It will expand. Okay. It will swell up, correct? Swell. And if the water like keep entering inside the cell, do you think that a stage will come where this animal cell will just burst out?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, it could happen, isn't it? Because it's just cell membrane, so it could burst out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this was hypo and this is hyper. Do you expect that there should be one more?
Yes, maybe the equal one.
Excellent job. Yes, and that is, so the third situation, again, what are we doing? We are taking an animal cell again. Okay, this is the third time we are taking an animal cell. Okay, and once we take, and then we are taking a beaker. Okay, but this time we are taking 10% water here.
10% in the beaker.
Excellent. 10% in the beaker. So which is concentrated, which is dilute? Nothing, isn't
they
it?
are same.
They are same. If you put animal cell inside it, do you think there will be movement?
No.
Well, there will be a movement, but the movement will be equal, but nothing will happen to cell. Okay.
Okay.
Make sense? This situation is called as isotonic situation. Okay.
Okay.
Isotonic. So in isotonic, neither. Okay. Neither. Okay. Cell will expand, nor it will
shrink.
Excellent. Nor it will shrink. Make sense?
Yes.
Do you think torture is over?
Oh, there's something more.
Oh, yes. This, we talk about animal cell. We have to talk about plant cell in 3 scenarios. Okay. So scenario number 1. So here it is. Okay. Let me draw a line in the middle so you guys don't get confused. Okay. So let me draw a line. Okay. Okay. So first we talk about animal cell, and now we're going to talk about plant cells. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. What do you think will happen to plant cell if I put plant cell in the situation the way I put animal cell in the first one? Yes, what you guys think?
Osmosis, right? Osmosis is applied there.
So do you think osmosis will happen?
Yes.
Well, of course, osmosis is happening, but let me draw the plant one. Okay, here I am. So the first situation, I'm drawing a plant cell now, and you know that plant cell is in rectangular shape and it have a big vacuole inside it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what I'm doing in the first scenario, okay, so this is your plant cell, okay? In the first scenario, what I'm doing, I'm taking a beaker, okay, with the same type of concept, and you know that plant cells have a very big vacuole inside it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a
Is the
vacuole.
vacuole filled with water?
Sorry, come again?
Is the vacuole filled with water?
Of course, yes. Okay, now let's suppose the overall, like inside the plant, the situation of water again is 10%, okay? Including vacuole, okay?
Okay.
And here I am taking a dilute solution. Dilute means what?
More water, right? More
Excellent. So
concentrated.
this is dilute and this is concentrated, correct?
Yes.
So once I put plant cell, if plant cell over here, where do you think water will move? From beaker to plant or from plant to beaker?
From beaker to plant.
From beaker to plant. Now, once it go there, do you think that the size of vacuole will increase? Of course, because all the water of the plant, it gets stored or it get inside.
Oh, yes.
So do you think that the size of vacuole is gonna increase?
Yep.
Of course, it will increase. It will increase that much that it will push the cell wall like this. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, then we call, so this is a hypotonic situation, correct?
Yep.
So I'm writing here. So this is hypotonic situation. But do you know that when plant cell is in this position, plant cell is called as that this plant cell is in turgor position. Turgor position. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, why? Because this vacuole is applying a pressure on cell wall. Do you agree?
Yes.
But do you think because there was a cell membrane in plant, in animal cell, that's why animal cell just bursts out if more water will come in. But do you think plant cell will burst out?
No.
No, why? Because it have a protection. And that protection is cell wall, correct?
Yep.
Even though there will be a great pressure, okay, and we will call it turgor pressure. What we call?
Turgor pressure.
And the plant cell in this position is called as turgid. Turgid, okay?
Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
Yep.
Okay, should I move on?
Yep.
So this was your first scenario. In the second scenario, what did we do with animal cell?
Same thing in the plant?
Yes, we have to do same thing in the plant, but let's see what will happen. Okay, let's see. So the second scenario is here again. We are taking a plant cell. Oh my God, how many times I have to draw a plant cell? Okay, so we are taking a, wow, did you saw the magic? Okay, so plant cell, okay. And we have a very fancy vacuole inside it. Okay. And what did we do over here? Please tell me that now we are taking
water, but the water should be concentrated and the water inside the vacuole should be dilute.
Excellent. So this is the situation, correct? Dilute.
Yes.
Now, from where the water will move?
From high to low.
So
the water will move in the tube.
Excellent. Here, like that, correct? Now, do you believe that once the water will come out, do you believe that this vacuole will shrink a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, and the whole cell will shrink, correct?
Yes.
So this shell will shrink so much that the cell membrane will also shrink out like that.
Okay.
Okay, now this situation is called as flaccid situation. Okay, well, even though the solution was hypertonic, okay, the plant cell is called as flaccid and this is called as hypertonic.
Okay.
Let me see if I'm pronouncing it correct. Was it flaccid or something? These things are important. I am telling you again and again. It will appear in your exams. Oh, yes, flaccid. Okay. Well, the only thing is that this is double C. Okay, here. So flaccid. Okay. Okay, the third one and the easiest one. What will happen? You guys tell me. If I take a plant
Equal
cell,
same.
excellent. And if I just put it in the same scenario like that, and just take 10% here and 10% here, do you think something will happen?
Nothing will happen.
Excellent. Not flaccid. Neither it will get flaccid nor it will get turgid. So it will be at isotonic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the three scenarios. These are the three situations, or you could say these are the three experiments which scientists have did, and they found out these things. Okay. And this is related to osmosis. Okay.
Yep.
So overall, if I say that we have learned, okay, so it becomes this much, but it was looking too much, isn't it? Okay, so we did that a movement of transport, okay, or transport, passive and active transport. Passive have two types, diffusion and osmosis. Correct, active do not have any type, but in order to do
Yes.
active transport, we need energy in form of ATP. Osmosis,
Yes.
and we saw the three scenarios: hypertonic, hypotonic, and isotonic. Okay. And the terms for plant one, it is turgid or turgid pressure and flaccid. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions so far?
No.
No. Okay. So you want to try some questions? Let's see.
Why not?
Okay. By the way, if you want to go and see it from your book, okay, it's here. All of you, can you see? So can you see the cell, the plant cell just shrink out? This is flaccid situation. Okay. And in microscope, it looked like this. Can you see?
Yeah.
The cell membrane is just shrinked out. Okay, and this is the hypotonic one. Hypo, okay.
Yep.
Okay, now let's do some questions. Let's see if you got it. Osmosis is option A, the active movement of molecules from region of their lower concentration to region of higher concentration. What is the option? Please tell me. You read it quickly.
The moment of two particles.
Okay, good job. I could see some answers coming out. Good job. Good job. Yes, people who are not typing in. What's the answer? A, B, C, D. D, good job.